Welcome to Artistic Soul Culinary Network.
Hey man, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for showing up. To come check out the platform and everything. Come interview with me today.
Yes, sir. You know you my brother, man. I gotta come and support.
Good,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay, and this will be our first episode of interview on Artistic Soul Culinary Network.
Oh man,
Yep.
I feel honored.
All right. Yeah, man. So welcome you. I'd like to also welcome our viewers as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, let's jump into it.
All right. My name is Chef Chris Morgan. I'm the owner of the 6 Foot Cook Catering Company.
All right.
As well as the 6 Foot Cook Smoke Barbecue Pit. And pretty much, man, we do a wide variety of things. We're a customizable catering company.
Okay.
So we don't do preset menus. I always said that I didn't want to do, preset anything. I want, people are spending their hard-earned money. I want them to get exactly what they want. I want them to have exactly what they want to have. You go to a lot of places and it's like you got to get these certain menu items. And with the variety of things I'm able to do, in my experience, I'm able to do anything. So it's like, whatever you want, let's talk about it. In my consultations, we sit down and we talk, and we find the menu that fits best for you, and then we get it done. For me, that's been very successful. It's been very lucrative, and it's also made my clients very happy because,
Okay.
they feel like at the end of it all, what's important to me is that they feel like they got everything that they were looking for.
Okay.
So that's who I am, man. I've been in business. We just celebrated 9 years.
Okay. All right.
Legit 9
Congratulations.
years. I've been doing it a lot longer, but legit 9 years. License and everything like that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what made you decide to start? To jump into the culinary game to begin with?
Oh man, I love to eat. I give all credit. Anybody knows me, hears me tell the story. My grandmother. I grew up. My mom was in the Army, so the first few years of my life, I grew up with my grandparents, and just my grandmother, man. Her cooking and when people ate her food, it was like the best thing ever, right? Including me.
Yep.
And so it was like, man, I want to be able to do that. She was a major influencer in my life. And so that just inspired me, man. And I've done nothing but cook pretty much my entire life. My very first job, I was a bag boy at a grocery store, Piggly Wiggly, shout out. But, ever since then, other than that, man, I've been in the kitchen and I've not looked back. I just want to continue to grow, continuously be a student of the game and hone in my skills. But also, I'm a servant at heart. And so I love to, and as far as culinary, I love to serve people.
Right.
So a good meal, nice presentation, great service, and it just continues to push me. That's my passion.
Okay. Speaking of serving, and and just in the thought of humanity and giving back, both me and you participated in. We've participated in a few things.
Right.
Could you kind of elaborate on?
Yeah, that's how we met, man. I had put something out on Facebook some years ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was. Just wanted to give back into the community, and we did. We started up a nonprofit, Giving Back, Chefs of Atlanta, and it was very, very, to me, it was a very, what's the word? It was an eye-opening experience, to say the least. Just not only to the need, because we know the need of the people out there.
Right.
We know that it's people out there trying to decide whether they're going to get their medication for the month or buy groceries for the kids. It's things out there like that. So being able to give back into the community, give back to people who are in need. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, it's been times in my life, and I've worked in food, that I didn't have food at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I worked every day of my life. And so just having that understanding to say that, hey, we're in a position now to give back to those people, and we have the heart to do so, that was huge. Yeah, that was huge.
Right. That's and I think that's much appreciated by all who who participated, not only as being the beneficiaries of whatever goods that we were able to to pass on, but to everyone that was involved in being able to to participate in that, man.
Absolutely. So, it created a bond amongst the chefs, and that's another thing is that we were able to create a bond amongst each other, especially in a business that can be sometimes cutthroat, that could be sometimes not so bonding together, where people don't get along. But to create something, man, to see positivity in the culinary world, that was what really stuck out to me.
And we're gonna speak about the pandemic.
Okay.
That's most current thing. It's affecting the whole restaurant and hospitality and event industry all equally. So what is 6 Foot Cook doing to kind of circumvent the circumstances and make it work in your favor?
Man, honestly, man, it's been surprising to me. It's not something that I really have done a lot of prior. Kind of stayed away, I've been booking bigger events and stuff. But I've been into the personal chef sector a lot now. That's pretty much all I've done during this whole time is doing personal chef events for people, small gatherings, things like that. Also, now seeing we've on the Uber Eats and Grubhub platforms, so that's been a big help. And then outside of that, man, just continue to help and push my wife's business as well. That's where we've been over the last few months. So I've seen a significant change in drop in business, but I've also been able to kind of work my way into another niche group, as you would say, or another another way into the culinary world through the personal chef services.
Okay, and I think that's important that every chef, culinarian, event planner, to take this time to just step out of the box maybe a little bit, or just look at different things to broaden your horizons. See like, okay, maybe even though this is taken away from you, there's different avenues to explore that that you may be stronger.
Yeah. Well, you got to grow, right? You got to evolve, and so like another thing that I've done as well, I began to work on. I got 2 books I'm kind of co-writing at the same time, working on both of those. One is the journey of the 6 Foot Cook. I became self-made in this industry, and then the other one is it's titled "Help, I'm in the Weeds." A comprehensive guide to kitchen management. And so been working both of those books, man. I look to have them both out before the end of the year. Just sharing the knowledge, as well as opening up my consulting platform and things like that. And then also just, I think, sharing my experience in this thing, man. I think it's huge. Come a long way. We're talking about things I've seen in the kitchen, from addictions to mental disorders that people go through, to my own personal struggles in the culinary world. So it's going to be huge, man. Guys, check it out when it comes out. Definitely, I'll make sure I send you a copy immediately. But that's it, man. I talk about a lot of things that people don't think of when they think of the culinary world, or when they think of chef. They may not understand what all comes with it, So yeah.
Right. And I'd like to say to the viewers, there's a lot of things that are glorified, even just from what we see on TV.
Yeah.
And as far as the perception of what a chef is and how they live, things that a lot of people don't see behind the scenes, just as you said.
Right? People don't understand, just the different things people, as a culinarian, the different things you go through to present that perfect plate or to present that perfect experience at your event. And people say, oh, that's what I'm paying you for, but you're not, when you don't go through it to get it done, you don't really truly understand the experience. You understand what the outcome that you want. Yeah. So to give you an example of that, it was a wedding that I did, and everything was different, right? So from the consultation, the room the food was going to be in was here, right next to the kitchen, different things. So when we get there, they changed it. They had more guests, and so they took the food out of that room and they moved it to another room that was across the venue. So now not only do you have a different space that we got to work through, because now we got to walk around and down these halls, things like that, to get to where we're going to set the food up.
Right.
They tell us that when we get there, and then the room isn't set up, and so it's like, okay, so now not only we get there in time, so now we got to stop, we got to rush and help set up and get it the way it needs to be, design the room real quick, get back to the kitchen, and get things going, and then present the food on time, right?
Right.
And so things like that type of pressure, the guests don't see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And actually the bride and groom didn't even see that. You know, that was between me and the wedding planner. And so it was like, it added the extra pressure on top of everything else I had to do, because at the end of the day, the client only sees one thing: was the food out on time, and was it good? They didn't even know all I had to go through to get it, to get where I was in the event. And so, as when you're a guest, you never know what the chef or the cooks that you see are going through behind the scenes, to present to you. And so that's just one example of what I was talking about.
Right. Also, you mentioned a while back about speaking engagements. What sparked that interest? What made you want to get into speaking engagements?
Well, man, I was at a small business gathering, and the speaker was talking about being the expert in your field. And he said, if you don't have a book, you're not an expert.
Okay.
And so what that does for me, that's what inspired me to write the 2 books I'm currently writing. And also, wanting to reach out to larger corporations, whatever it may be, in the culinary world. Some of these chains, some of these different hotels chains and stuff like that, and restaurant chains, and being able to speak to the upper management for them to understand a better way to handle and treat their culinary employees. Right. Help them understand it's not, it's bigger than just your bottom line on your P&L, excuse me. These are the things, and how you can have a better operation, because the people are the driving force. If you don't have the people, then you don't have anything. And so when you can treat them better, you can cut down things such as theft or food waste, or you can run your labor hours better. And just my experience in that field, I want to be able to share. I've been able to help a few places already, and from designing menus or things that work, using cross utilization of products and stuff like that. Just helping out and helping them grow their business and see a difference. And so that has inspired me to keep that going. I want to continue to help out.
All right, Chef. So, as I understand, with your brand, you have a few different brands on the market. Could you tell us, you can expand on those for me?
Well, yeah, we do a couple different things. Everything is the 6 Foot Cook.
Okay.
That is the brand. Everything is recognized through the 6 Foot Cook, but it's an umbrella. And to some different things I'm stretching. So 6 Foot Cook itself, the catering company itself, like I said, it's a customizable catering company. We can, accommodate any of your needs. But then also something that's near and dear to my heart is my smoked barbecue pit. Okay. And so that's something I grew up with. I'm from North Carolina originally. We do pig pickings all the time. Nothing like it in the world. My granddad had owned a hog farm. So stuff like that. So I do barbecue in my sleep, right? So we do that and sell sauces. The very first thing that I got into with the 6 Foot Cook as far as selling product is my chicken salad collection. Right now we have 8 different flavors, a bold flavor for chicken salad. And so, we push that. But that's kind of where I'm at, man. So the barbecue, the catering, and the chicken salad are the 3 things that I push. But it's all umbrellaed under the 6 Foot Cook, because we're actually looking to get into some stores right now.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're taking those products, just getting tested and doing some different things, looking for manufacturing. We're trying to get it in some of the local grocery stores all around and eventually across the country.
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah.
That's decent, Chef.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long total have you been in the culinary world? Like, how long did you say total?
We're looking at roughly about 23, 24 years now.
Man,
Let me see, yeah, since 16. So yeah, about 24 years.
man,
Yeah.
24 years culinary experience, man.
Yeah,
It's definitely commended.
yeah.
Man.
I mean, I've been in restaurants and in kitchens since 16, and I you know, some people say, you know, they have the story. I came from the dishwasher. I didn't. I was a line cook off rip, and I've been a line cook and never looked back. Just continued to grow, and so yeah, it's been a wild ride though.
Wow. And okay, so for an upcoming chef who's looking to create their own way, you know, to pave their own path in the culinary industry, what advice would you give them on a start, how to get started?
Know your end. Know your end and count the cost. The reason I say know your end is you have to first have the end in mind to know where you're going. What is it that you want to do? The culinary field itself is vast. Right. You got different niches, you got different things. So you have to find your passion, who you are, how you can best express your talents in this field, right? You don't have to go out and do everything. You don't have to be, you know, I think of different places, right? You know, some of these restaurants, like fast food restaurants that have things that don't belong there.
Right.
You know that they have tacos, but it's a burger joint. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Find your niche. Know your end. Where do you want to see yourself? You know, when you think about it, what is it that you want to do? You have to answer that question first and foremost, and then count the cost of whatever you do.
Right.
Not just menu costing, none of that. Like, count the cost of what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to go.
Right.
Are you willing to do that? And that will answer the question: do you have a hobby, or do you have a business?
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of people out here who start a business off of a hobby, but they're not, you know, because it's a hobby to them. When the times get tough or a difficult situation arises, next thing you know, the business is closed.
Yep.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? And so when you count the cost of what you're doing and you understand the risk of where you're going, and you know the end in mind, with the end in mind on every step of the way,
right,
then you'll be successful. Everything else is part of it. It's going to happen. Things are going to happen. Call outs, cancellations, a mistake happens. Things happen. It's life. It's part of the business. But if what keeps you going is that, hey, I know where I'm going. I know my goal. I counted the cost. I'm willing to pay this price. Let's keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
And from that also, you know, just to expand on that is, and this is something that I learned early on, very early on, in the stages of starting my own catering business, was that you can't be everything to everyone.
Yeah, facts.
You know, and
Facts.
that was a big revelation for me.
Man.
You know.
Woo. Yeah, if I can add on to that too.
Yeah.
Since you said that, that's another great thing. I mean, there's so much advice, but know your worth. Never devalue yourself.
Definitely.
For business. Never devalue yourself for business. Because you got people that will try to do that to you. I experienced that young, you know, in the early stages as well. And I'm taking down prices because I want to get this business. I got to get this business, right?
Yes.
I got to grow. I got to get this experience under my belt. But
Right.
the whole time I'm being used and it's wearing me out. And these are some, you know, this is something that will make you be like, do I really want to do this? But if you know your worth, you stand on your ground. And this is what it is. You know, you attract the clients that you want.
Right.
And when you start devaluing yourself, you're going to continue to attract clients who are going to devalue you. And I think you're too important of a person to be devalued.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true, Chef. Okay, Chef. So I want to know, you know, how can people get a hold of you? How can people reach you when they want to, you know, they want to book with you, you know, through the 6 Foot Chef, or, you know, to get some of the chicken salad, or, you know, anything else? How can they get, for when you're consulting, how can they get a hold of you?
My website does everything. www.the6footcook. That's THE, the number 6 itself, F as in Frank, T as in Tom, COOK .com, the6footcook.com. You can follow me on any of the social media platforms at the 6footcook as well, and get in contact with me that way. Or you can call us at the office. My telephone number is 678-661-9848. And you can fill out on our website a contact form. You can give us a call at the office. You can send an email as well to info@the6footcook for different bookings or consultations, things of that nature. So, yeah.
Okay, and also let the people know what city and state you're in.
Right here in Atlanta, man. So the Metro Atlanta area, as I like to say. I travel if the money's right, but we're right here in the Atlanta area. I'm based actually out of Kennesaw, but we travel all around the metro area.
Okay.
And do events.
All right. Well, Chef, it's been a pleasure having you on the network today.
Yes, sir.
For my first show.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Always glad to support, man. And, I just tell everybody, hey, man, this is a great resource. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. Stay tuned.
All right.
For sure.
Like, subscribe, share. See you later.
Peace.